for trouble, honey, is it you? Feel the world under her feet, all the cracks up in the concrete. Take a step back, she's coming through. Baby looking shady, she's on the run. Maybe just maybe she'll find the sun. I feel that sweet, empty head summer. I feel the heat. Gotta feel the heat. How does he do it? Sorry. I'll live long day. I'll live long day. I'll be moving along, singing my song, running around, ain't nothing wrong. I'll live long day. Say I'll live long day. I'll live long day. I said I'll live long day.
Hey, I'm live on LinkedIn. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that clip that you just saw, that was directed and produced by Michael Ivey. He does some pretty good commercials for a lot of food companies. And the guy that did all the food styling work is Nicky Morse, Chef Nicky Morse. He's known as the Racing Chef. So if you need some work done in the food space, those are two guys to talk to. But in the meantime, I'm trying to get on track with LinkedIn Lives at 12 o'clock Eastern time. I did a survey to try to figure out what was the best time. And when it was all said and done, I kind of figured that it might come down to trying to hit the lunch hours. If I go ahead and do 12 Eastern, that's great for the East Coast. That's the majority of the population. My connections are basically 95% USA. So I'm trying to hit the targets for the United States. And then as far as the central time zone, that would be 11 o'clock. And that would be, some of the guys that take early lunches. These LinkedIn Lives are not exactly intended to, hang out for a half an hour or 40 minutes. It's kind of like if you could kind of step in and watch for two minutes and say hi, that's a good way to do it. Hey, if you go to, it's just like going to a food show. If you go to a food show, it's not like you're going to be talking to them the whole time. You're going to actually walk around and talk to people for a minute and 2 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 5 minutes there, whatever. And when it's all said and done, you say to yourself after the food show is over, you say, wow, that was great. I got to talk to so-and-so for 2 minutes. Time is valuable. And if you could hang out and say hello, do some engagement, because the more engagement that's done on LinkedIn Live, the further the food story goes out. And that's what I'm working on trying to do. Okay. Well, first of all, I wanted to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put the food shows up. Hey, last year, right around this time, I started looking at companies that were actually using LinkedIn to let people know that they're going to be at the food show. So I was kind of like sitting back, waiting to find out who got involved. And when I would get 5 different companies, I would go ahead and post, hey, the Sweet and Snacks show is coming up, and here are 5 different manufacturers that you could see. Since it was their post, then you would know that you can go to that particular booth and see whoever did the post and then meet them at the show. That just makes your food shows more efficient, makes them work out pretty good. So as the time went by last year, I'm talking about January, February, I was doing that for all the different shows. Hey, the show's coming up, and trying to put the two together as far as who's going to be there and who's not. And then all of a sudden I started hearing this stuff about cancellations, about the possibilities of cancellations. Well, all I got to say is back in that day, LinkedIn was a good way to communicate with people. And those posts, it was crazy because everybody was wondering, are they canceled? Are they not? Are they going to give my money back? That kind of stuff. And the posts ended up doing like 2 and 3 and 4 and 5,000 views. So they really did well. And then we ended up in the COVID situation. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and do this LinkedIn Live today is yesterday I put the finishing touches of 366 days of data, LinkedIn data, during the COVID situation. Because when COVID started, I actually, when the food shows started when they got canceled, I went ahead and I started doing posts on all kinds of different companies, all kinds of different food companies. And the one thing about it is when you do a lot of posts, your reach gets diluted, and I understand that. But during the course of the year, I was able to test out different frequencies, whether it's 12 times a month, 11 times a month, 10 times a month. Then during the summer, I went ahead and cut it back to 2, and then 3, and then 4. So I kind of have an idea of what the reach is based on how much you post and what kind of post and that kind of stuff. So now I have 22 months of solid data, pre-COVID and during COVID. So it's just some super awesome information, because it's not like it's not like you can buy a book and it's going to tell you exactly how LinkedIn's going to do certain things. It's all about trial and error and doing the work. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this show. The NGA show, from what I understand, is going to be in Vegas, and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that it actually happens. If anybody hears anything that it's not happening or it's canceled, please let me know. But if everything goes right, it's May 16th to the 18th at Caesars Forum in Las Vegas. That's the NGA show. Okay. I'm going to go ahead to the next one, and that's the National Restaurant Show. That was scheduled for May 22nd to May 25th, and I just learned that is canceled. That particular show is canceled. So the one thing that I can say is, whether the show is canceled or it's not canceled, it becomes very, very important to let people know that you're going to be at a particular show if it's not canceled. But if it is canceled, hey, how are people going to find out that you exist and what new items you have? I would say one of the greatest things that you can do is put together a LinkedIn company page and share. I'm not talking about sell. I'm talking about share all the different things that you're doing and when you're doing and how you're doing, and start to do that. There's just so many people in the food business that don't have a LinkedIn company page, and I think you're missing the boat, and I think you need to get started. If you have any questions and you need help, please let me know. All right, then I'm going to go on over to the next one, the IDDBA show. That was going to be in Houston, Texas. The last show that I went to was in Houston, Texas. It was a while back. Unfortunately, that particular show is canceled. Okay, so like I said, if you're not going to be at the show, go ahead and talk about the fact that I might not be at the show, but this is what I have, and start posting on LinkedIn. I'm telling you, because the guys that are hanging out on LinkedIn are B2B guys. Those are the guys that can buy a pallet. They can buy 3 cases. They can buy a truckload. They're in the marketing department for the company that sells the product. They own the company. They own the distributor. This is the way to reach them. And if you hang out with me, I'm definitely connected to. In my case, it took me almost 12 years to get 11,200 connections, and these 11,200 connections are all in the related industry to the food business. They may not produce food, they may not sell food, but they're some way involved in the food business. 11,200 connections. Okay, the next one is the National Restaurant Show. I guess I did that one twice. Okay, I got to go back down to the next one. The next one is the Sweets and Snacks Expo. From what I understand, it's still on. It's going to be in Indianapolis. I don't know what's going on in Indianapolis, but they've been doing a good job of picking up some food shows lately. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed on that one. Hopefully that one definitely happens. Okay. And then one of my favorite shows is Seafood Expo North America. It's going to be in July 11th to 13th in Boston. And the good thing about that's let's see, March, like April, May, June, July. Yeah, we're looking at what, four months down the road. Hopefully everything's working out and it's going to happen. And I'm looking forward to it. And I hope I hope it happens. Like I said, it gives you plenty enough time that even if you haven't started a LinkedIn company page, now's the time to do that LinkedIn company page. One other thing that I find about people that actually have a LinkedIn company page, a lot of times the employees, the sales guys, the accounting department, the purchasing, the owner, whatever, they're not connected to the LinkedIn company page. You need to be connected to your own LinkedIn company page so that when somebody clicks that that logo, you actually go to that particular page. It's good to have everybody tied together. If you have 10 sales reps, it's great to have engagement from those 10 sales reps, because whatever story that you're trying to tell, if you sell catfish for a living and you got 5 reps and they're all active on LinkedIn, that story's going to go further. People are going to see it. So for instance, if you're going to be frying catfish at the Boston Seafood Show, which is Seafood Expo North America in Boston, and you let people know that you're frying catfish and come on and stop at booth 1033, it's very effective. If you say that every day, 1033, 1033, 1033, when that person gets the Seafood Expo North America, they're going to go to 1033 and they're going to see if Charlie's there or Bob's there or Nancy. They're going to go look you up. So that's how that works. Okay, so the other 2 shows that are coming up, I don't have it listed as far as the banner is concerned. Let me go ahead and get rid of this banner. Okay, I don't have it up, but the Texas Restaurant Show is going to happen in July. It's a great show. I've been to it. There's also the Louisiana Restaurant Show that's going to be in New Orleans in August. And like I say, July and August, it's a good way. It's a good way down the road, and it could happen. Those shows could actually exist. So start talking about it. Start talking about it on LinkedIn. That's what I would do. Okay. What I'm going to do is, let's see if I could. I'm going to go ahead and show you some data from Shield. Okay, you see this banner right here, or this photo right here. This is kind of the dashboard for Shield. I don't know if you can see it. Probably the only way that you can see it is if you're on a big TV, on a computer screen and full screen. You might be able to see what the deal is. But this is where I get all my data for LinkedIn. What happened? Okay, let's see if I get it bigger here. All right. I don't know if you can read it. Hopefully you can read it. But the deal is, you could run whatever you want. You could get real up-to-date information on how well your posts are doing, your videos are doing. It goes back. It keeps track of everything in real time, and it's the only way that you could really know how well you're doing with LinkedIn. This is a game changer. It's the best money that I ever spent. When it got started, the company's out of Copenhagen, Denmark. The first data that I have in its entirety is May of 2019. So that's 22 months ago. So I have 22 months of solid data. But the deal is, when you sign up, it's just as time goes by, they just give you more and more information. So it's just so awesome to have. So let me see if I could. I'm going to go into full screen. Let's see. I'm going to go into full screen. I'm going to be able to show you some stuff. Let's see. Hopefully I could. I don't know. Hopefully you can see this on the screen. But in this case, what I did was I ran it from February. Let's see, March 1st of 2020 to February 28th of 2021. And what it does is that it shows you the growth over that time period. And you can see that I finished the year with 1.8 million views during that particular time. It shows you that I ended up with 43,475 likes. Of course, that's not a whole bunch compared to the regular social media platforms. Likes happen, right? They happen so easily. But when you get to LinkedIn, it's a much more difficult situation. Likes are a lot harder to come by. And then you have your comments. In this case, it's almost 20,000 comments. I got the shares, 590, for the year. That's not a whole bunch, but it'll get better over time. My engagement rate ended up during the COVID period, ended up at 3.86. That's not too bad. That's a good bit of engagement. And the thing that I ended up doing is I ended up doing 2,100 posts. And that's down from the year before, where I did 2.9 2,900 posts. So that's like 5,000 posts. So if you want to talk to somebody that actually knows what happens when you post things, talk to me. Send me a message, ask a question. You could ask a question right now and I can answer it in real time. And then my followers, this was the cool thing. When COVID started, it became all of a sudden it became a big deal to know what's going on with the food supply. If you remember correctly, March and April were very, very tough to get food. Everything was being sold out. The shelves were, wiped out. And cooking at home was a big deal. Maybe you didn't do much cooking at home, but whether you liked it or not, you needed to start doing that. So food became an issue, and my view counts just went crazy during that time period. So like I said, I finished out with 1.8 million views, and that's okay for LinkedIn. So anyway, you can see how this goes. When you go down to the bottom here, you can see how active I am. One thing about being successful on LinkedIn, you have to be consistent, and you can see right here. This is like, I can't tell. I guess this is 90 days. This might be 90 days for the last 90 days. But if you look at my posting frequency, you'll see that in the last 2 years, I took 2 days off, and that was on purpose to see exactly what happened with the view distribution. So, okay, so that's down there, and then you'll see the way Shield works. It shows you. Well, you can see this graph. I think this is for the whole year, and you can see there's no gaps in it, and you can see this big deal here, and that's I had some pretty awesome Nielsen data on hair clippers. And I know hair clippers have nothing to do with the food business, but it was some pretty awesome data about people were buying hair clippers like, it was just crazy because you couldn't go out and get your hair cut. So I figured it was great Nielsen data, and I went ahead and I posted it, and it ended up doing 48,900 views. So it went around the world. It got around, no doubt about that. So that's it. So the deal is, if you get a chance to get on Shield, I think it costs you about $10 a month. It really helps you get your LinkedIn thing started. So I'm going to go back here. And as far as it looks like comments, don't have any comments coming in. But anyway, go ahead and send me any questions, and I'll go ahead and answer them. Anything related to LinkedIn in the food and beverage category, and that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. Hope all is well, and I will talk to you at a later time. Take care. I may have Calvin with me next time. I may not. All right. I'll see you. Okay. Bye.